No, I think it's messed up that I've seen uh, a good 100 videos where the sisters are talking about, guys holding up their passports. You know, when they do that thing where they just hold their passports up in mass. I think it's a shame. Not that, but when they start talking about what the guys look like, that they're in their 40s and their 50s, and they just scraped up enough money to go overseas and this and that and other, and they start laughing and talking about the guys missing tooth or they had a dead bod and all this bullshit, right? But if you said it, it'd be like body shaming or something. And a lot of the women saying that they're old and they're busted and shit. They're like overweight. They're old past the wall. They got a shitty attitude. Probably haven't had sex in decades, and I think it's shitty. Okay, when they talk about the guys like that, they show no respect whatsoever. And shit, and that's why we kind of hate them. Okay, I'm specifically talking about the women that do this shit. Like that bitch I hate, that Dana Dane 87 who called motherfuckers onk and shit, onk. And talked about how they were missing teeth on the side of their mouth and all that shit. I'm like, it takes one hell of a obsessive compulsive disorder to focus on something and look for minute flaws in someone's reflected image. And it's a lot of women that do that, just trash talking and laughing and cackling like a bunch of witches. And I thought, I went and looked at the picture of a lot of these passport guys that are, in my peer group, right? And I did notice similarities in their appearance and their demeanor. And I thought to myself, besides what these women are saying, trying to insult and just stab you in the core, it's emotional terrorism meant to stab you in the core of your being. And they do that all the time, even if they didn't have those passports. These women would say the same things. They would do the same nasty thing. They're just not built for this. These women are not built for anything other than emotional terrorism and, extremism and shit. Gender-based extremism within our own ethnic group. That's the problem and shit. We must shun them. All right, we must leave them and their descendants alone. Let them find the men they can find and shit and leave them alone. And consider anything that comes out of their busted vagina an abomination. We must kill this mindset. We will kill this mindset. All right? And like I was saying before, I noticed that a lot of the men were somewhat similar, with their dad bods and their glasses and, their long beards and various stages of, however you look at it, hair loss or whatever. And you got to wonder, why do they all look similar? Yeah, I know, Tim Ford Kofi, right? Why do they all look similar and shit? It's because they were all the product of the same type of upbringing and shit. That matriarchal upbringing, it burned them to their core and shit. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a sign of evolution. That men are able to talk to one another and shit and circumvent this evil, that comes from, the women and shit. These women have been socially engineered to keep us, locked up. To keep us down. And we're going to talk about the minority majority. But I want you to just hazard a possibility. Why do they all basically look the same to men? It's because they were raised in the same system. They all line up. They literally are brothers of the struggle. And what you see now is shit, this passport is just a symptom of what's really going on, what's really going on. The masculinity at the heart of these men, the masculinity, that tiny bit is, hasn't been destroyed is growing, you know. It's bubbling up to the top and shit. No matter what happens and shit. And these men will save their communities or whatnot because they will do everything in their power to make sure the younger men don't go through this, or that they have a help system. They have people they can talk to, you know, somebody that's experienced it, who can lead you the right way, who has a lantern there to help you guys not go through this, to be better, to do better, to think, to have self-esteem that was not taught to you, you know, to help you break the chains so that you won't be a victim. It's a dream I have.